You'll need either a broom handle or just a normal strap, just to go into some shoulder mobility drills. We're just going to start off with no equipment, just on hands and knees in tabletop position, just to warm up into the wrists. You just stack your shoulders over wrists, knees underneath hips. Feel as if the biceps are internally rotating towards the front of you. And all we're going to do is just shift the weight of our shoulders over the fingertips, just warming up into the wrists, just going for 10 reps. So we'll go 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Fingers just turning out to the sides now, just to face the long edge of the mat. You can go as wide or as narrow as you want with your hand positioning. Just moving left to right. Keep pushing into your upper back just to protract into the shoulders. And just going left to right. You can go into like figure of 8s here, or you can just sway it left to right. Just go for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Fingers facing you this time. So turning the fingers outwards to see if you can get them to face the knees. You might not be able to get fingers all the way round. Just getting them as far round as feels comfortable for you. And all we're going to do here, if you're hyper mobile in the elbows, just keeping a slight bend in the elbows as you gently just rock back and forth. Going for 7, 6. Keep the palm pushing into the mat. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And for the last rep, you can just let the palm come off of the mat. Keep fingertips pushing into the mat as you bring your bum, glutes down towards the heels. And if you bend into the elbows here, you'll feel it a lot more intensely. I'm not going to, because I'm getting it enough as it is. Just holding it here for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Come up. Oh. Small little circles of the wrist. Just coming back onto the palms, tabletop position. This time we're just going to sit on the back of the palm. So bringing the hand to the back of your mat. Try to straighten into the arms as much as feels comfortable. You can just keep a slight bend in the elbow here as you just gently rock back. This is quite intense on the wrist, so take it easy. You can go for 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Oh. Still just warming up into the wrists. If you bring one palm down onto the mat, just bring your other hand on top, and then just externally and internally rotating through the arm, just to warm up into the shoulder and wrists a little bit more. And then changing hands. So the back of the palm is on the mat, other hand coming on top. Just going for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Oh. Shake it off a little bit. Oh. So here we're just going to go into scapular press-ups. We're going to start off on knees. With scapular press-ups, it's just pinching your shoulder blades together and then pushing the mat away from you. Pinch shoulder blades together, push the mat away. So we can do that in tabletop position to start. So hands underneath shoulders, knees underneath hips, internally rotating the biceps in to face forwards, and then from here I'm going to keep belly button engaged as I bring my shoulder blades together as much as I can, and then I'm going to push into the ground to round into the upper back, taking it into an angry cat. Push up. I'm going to go 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. Try to keep arms straight, try not to bend into the elbows. 3, 2, 1. From here, I'm going to take it into a gymnastic plank. I'm just going to move my mat around so you can see what I'm doing. So keeping it in that angry cat upper back position, so keeping it at the top, back, upper back's fully protracted, trying to round into the upper back as much as I can. I'm going to take it into more of a gymnastic style plank. I'm going to get my little timer out so I can see what I'm doing. So angry cat in upper back, and then from here I'm just going to step one leg back, other leg back, take it into a plank, but my upper back is fully protracted. I'm gently tucking the pelvis under, so I've not got my bum sticking out. I'm tucking pelvis under, pushing back through the heels, and you can keep it here. I've got the option to keep the feet where they are, but just roll over the toes. So I've not got a lot of weight on my feet, all my weight is in my upper back, my belly button squeezed in, I'm engaging through my glutes, palms are pushing into the floor, I'm keeping this fully protracted upper back position. 15 more seconds. Five more seconds. Lower down. We're going to go through 3 more rounds of that. Come down, just grab hold of your wrist. Just take small wrist circles. Change hands. So back into scapular press ups. This time you could stay in tabletop position and do your scapular press ups there if you felt they were quite easy. You can do them in plank position, but by all means just keep it in tabletop position and just work on actually doing the exercise properly instead of trying to progress to maybe where you're not quite at yet. So option to keep it here in that tabletop and just pinch shoulder blades together and push the floor away. Pinch shoulder blades together, push the floor away. So it's like cat-cow, but we're not overarching the back. All we're focusing on is pinching shoulder blades together and pushing the floor away. You can step back to a high plank, and from here, really protracting in your upper back, pelvis tucked under, pinch shoulder blades together, push the floor away. Pinch shoulder blades together, push the floor away. Pinch shoulder blades, push, going for 3 more, 2 more, last one. And the thing about doing them in plank position is that we're going to go straight into plank position, so it's going to make it a little bit harder. So from here, keep it here on toes or roll over the toes, pushing into the floor, fully protracted and upper back. Keep pushing through your palms. Tuck pelvis under, protracted in upper back. 15 more seconds. 10 seconds. 5 seconds. 3, 2, 1. Take a little child's pose. And from here, make it quite active. Push into the floor, open up into shoulders a little bit. We get that sense of wrapping shoulder blades together. Just opening up into shoulders. You can bring elbows onto the floor. Hands behind, just gently open up into shoulders a little bit more. Try to keep your forehead off of the floor. Right, going into this last round of scapular press-ups. Full plank, gymnastic plank, or just normal plank. So I'll do my scapular press-ups in full plank position. Feel free to do them in tabletop position. So if you want to come along for the scapular press-ups in full plank, it's just, so if we start here, tabletop, fully protract into upper back, step back into a high plank, and then from here, I'm going to keep my pelvis tucked under as I pinch shoulder blades together. 10, push it all the way back up. I'm trying not to bend into the elbows. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now I'm going to roll over my toes, gymnastic plank for 30 seconds, push into the palms as we lean forwards. 20 seconds to go. Feel free to take it back to normal plank, but keep upper back fully protracted. 10 seconds to go. 5 seconds. Woo. Take it into little child's. Walk the hands across to one side, just get a sense of opening up into the lats a little bit. Walk it over to the other side. Reach as you stretch into the lats. So we're going to go into a reverse tabletop position, and we're going to superset that with shoulder dislocates. That can be done with a broom handle or a strap. So with reverse tabletop position, it's going to open up into your shoulders, which a lot of people are tight in shoulders trying to get into handstands. It's also going to open up into the hips. It's going to strengthen your glutes, which you need for handstands. It's also going to strengthen your core. So if you just get into sitting on your bum, feet out in front of you, hips distance apart, maybe just slightly wider, hands behind your low back. And from here we're going to push into the palms, raise the glutes off of the floor by like an inch or two, coming into like this capital M. And then from here, inhale, breathe in. As you exhale, drive hips up high. Inhale to lower down. Exhale to drive hips high. 8 more, inhale. Exhale to drive up high. Inhale to lower. 6 more, push. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Come into a comfortable seated cross-legged position. Grab a hold of your strap or your broom handle. Oh, it's cold in here. Right, so we're going to go into dislocates. This is for shoulder mobility. This opens up your shoulders, and it's a drill that you can do pretty much every day. So from here, seated, chest up nice and tall. Think rib cage is gently pulled in. Try not to arch him back too much. Think of keeping your trunk engaged, keeping a straight line, rib cage pulled in. Broom handle comes out in front of you, so I'm fully protracted in my upper back. As I bring the broom handle up overhead, I'm lifting up through scapula, shoulders. Shoulders are coming up by the ears, but I'm not trying to be too shrugged. Shoulders are coming up. And then as I exhale, I'm going to bring it around and slowly come down. Inhale to come back up. Exhale to lower it all the way around. Wherever you are, try to think that your little pinky finger is staying on either the strap or your broom handle. And just think elevation through shoulders, come back down, keep ribcage gently tucked in, and just at your own pace, try not to kind of pop as you come through. It wants to be controlled, slow, gently opening up into the shoulders. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Going back into that reverse tabletop. We're going to hold the position for 30 seconds. Hands behind, low back, feet out in front. Nice big breath in. Fill your air up with lungs. Expand through your shoulders and chest. Open up through your collarbone. Inhale in. Exhale, drive hips up high. Really push into the palms and get a sense of opening up through your chest and shoulders. Get comfortable. Keep your glutes engaged. Keep opening up through the hips. And keep opening up through your chest and shoulders. 20 more seconds, keep driving, squeeze your bum cheeks, open up through chest, keep engaging through your glutes. 10 seconds left. 5 seconds. Nicely done. Come back down, set yourself back up for these dislocates. Go as wide as feels comfortable for you. It's always better to start wide, then come in narrow. So, retract, elevate, roll it round. Go slow, controlled. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Alright, let's go back into this reverse tabletop. Just drive the hips up high, push into the palms, hips are up high. Try to find balance as you drive, open up through hips, push into palms. We're going to hold it for another 20 seconds. Really open up through your chest and shoulders. Keep engaging through your glutes. If you're hypermobile in elbows, just slight bend in the elbows. 10 more seconds. Squeeze your glutes. 3, 2, gently low down. Oh. From here you can bring your hands up wide, thumbs towards the ceiling, bring thumbs in towards the shoulders. Just take big circles. Okay, so that's kind of the warm-up part done. I'm going to practice a few more drills before we go into the handstands. Okay, so before we go up the wall, I'm just going to go into a little drill of coming into a high plank, into a compression position, just to try and stack things up, line things up, getting the feel for how it should be in a handstand. And then we're going to superset that with some compression work, and then after we've done a few rounds of that, we're going to go up onto the wall. So I'll run through one round, and then you can just pause it, go through 2 more on your own, or if you want to cheat and skip it a little bit, you can just go straight into the wall. So all we're going to do is going into that high plank position with fully protracted upper back. Start out feet quite wide, pelvis tucked under, armpits wrapping in towards each other, push into the palms, feel weight in your fingertips. As you stay fully protracted, try to keep the shoulders stacked over the wrists as you just gently start to tiptoe the feet in. It depends how flexible you are in your hamstrings. You can bend into the knees if you need to, but it's trying to come really tight on the tiptoes and trying to get a feeling of your chest coming to meet the thighs as you shift your weight forward. Gently start to step back to a high plank, reset your position, and then tiptoe back up. Keep pushing your chest towards your shoulders as your feet tiptoe in. Try to compress chest towards thighs. Lean, shift the weight over the shoulders, over the wrists as you push into the palms, and walk it back out. We'll go for 5 reps. So armpits are wrapping in towards each other. I'm really light on my toes. I push my palms into the floor. 2 more to go. Push, 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 light on toes. Tiptoe back in. Push palms into the floor. Try to compress your chest to your thighs. As you look in between your thumbs and fingers, gently walk back out. Come to sitting on your bum. I'm going to go for some compression strength drills. This drill, it works to strengthen your hip flexors, does lower abs. Mainly it's working on this compression strength. So in this position, the closer your hands are towards your feet, the harder it is. The further your hands are behind you, the easier it is. So you can get a gauge of maybe hands behind the low back, hands outside of the thighs, fingertips outside of the calves. So I'm going to start hands outside of thighs. I'm going to point toes and activate through my quads, pulling belly button in. You're just going to try to raise your heels off the floor as high as you can and lower back down. We're going to go 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Take a little bit of rest. Take it into a little reverse tabletop if you just want to open up into the hips. This is where you pause the video and then you run through that twice more. Otherwise, we're going to go up against the wall. We're going to go into some drills similar to that end position there, but on the wall. We're going to go for downward facing dog on the wall, and we're going to use both feet to press against the wall and try to work strength in holding that position. So if you come up, my top of my head's cut out. So if you come up, you go leg further, just bring your leg to the wall, come back down, turn around, and then bring your hands outside of your feet. This may not work for everyone. People have longer legs, longer limbs. We're not all the same, so that might not work for you. You might need to walk a little bit further out, maybe a little bit further back in. So here, hands are just kind of underneath shoulders. I shoot my index finger forwards. I have that facing forwards. It might work better for you to have your middle finger facing forwards. It kind of is horses for courses, see what works for you. Palms pushing into the floor. my fingertips are pressing into the floor and I've got air underneath my fingertips. So from here, I'm just going to step one foot on the wall, then another foot on the wall. So I'm going to push one foot up high, and then I'm going to bring the other foot to meet it. So I'm in like a downward facing dog on the wall. Now I'm going to wrap my armpits in towards each other, and I'm going to extend my legs out so my bum and my shoulders and my wrists are all stacked over line. I'm looking in between my thumbs, armpits are wrapping in towards each other, and I'm just getting a sense of pushing into the floor. And this is quite tough on your shoulders. Come back down. Try to come down gently. Now this time with that, we're going to go back into that drill, down dog against the wall. I'm going to bring both legs extended out. And then what we're going to do is we're going to try to extend one leg overhead, really light on the toes that are on the wall, and try not to force it off. Try not to force the foot off the wall. The foot doesn't even need to come off the wall. Just get that sense of trying to find balance in your hands. So while we're upside down, armpits are wrapping in towards each other, rib cage is pulled in. I'm engaging through my glutes. So again, just set yourself up. So legs distance away. Turn around. Bring your hands outside of where your feet are. Hands underneath shoulders or just slightly out of. Palms pushing into the floor. My thumb and index finger are really pressing into the floor. Air underneath fingertips. Down dog against the wall. So one foot up, other foot up. Armpits are wrapping in towards each other. From here, I'm going to extend both legs this time. And now, I'm going to try to just extend one leg up high, trying to stay square in my hips as I come really light on the toe that's on the wall. Now I can keep that toe on and just really try to work the balance, and then the toe maybe floats off, maybe catch a little bit of air time. You might find that you're just bouncing on and off the wall, that's fine. Just work that, keep extending through, pointing through the toes that's away behind head. When you've had enough, come down. And with that, this is the time where I just kind of pause the screen and just have a play with it. Change legs, go up, and just practice trying to hold. Trying to hold, keep the toe on there, just work strength. So you're trying to extend this leg away, the toe that's on the wall, kind of this scissor effect. And you could just practice, just holding one leg overhead, or you could practice one leg's up, come back down, other leg comes up, come back down, other leg, just trying to work into that balance. Don't even worry about bringing the feet together, just practice this scissor handstand and just working fingers, palms. Pause this video, have a little play for about 5 to 10 minutes and then come back. So putting together what we was doing on the wall, come to a downward facing dog. Armpits are wrapping in towards each other, pushing through the index finger and thumb, pushing into palms. Shorten out your downward facing dog. Lift the right leg up high, point through the right toes, bend into the left knee, keep this right leg extended away. As you kick up in this left leg, try to straighten out the left leg, coming into this kind of scissor motion, so this left leg extends away as you kick up. See if you can catch a little bit of air time, or just practice kicking up. If you catch the air time, keep the legs extending away. Engage through this right glute, pointing through the left toes. Now I'm just fighting, balancing my fingertips and palm. Gently come down. Practice the same on the other leg. Go through maybe 3 rounds, 5 reps one side, 5 reps the other. Calm down, take some breath, shake out your wrists a little bit, and then go back into it. Just practice 3 rounds of 5 reps on each side and see if you can catch a little bit of air. Press pause, just carry on, and then come back. So we'll just go into some shoulder stretching to finish. So if you just come down to lying flat on your belly, arms facing away from you, so come into like a big capital T. If you press the left shoulder into the floor, right hand comes outside of the torso, right leg coming up and over. Just breathing into this left shoulder. If you want to bring something to rest underneath your head, to support your head, then feel free. You can hold this for another 30 seconds. And we're going to do exactly the same, but on the other side. Right arm comes out. Right shoulder pushes into the floor. Left hand comes outside the chest. Come into a little Sphinx pose and just hold this for a minute. Keep your glutes engaged. You gently open up into your upper thoracic spine. Come over into little child's pose. Feel free to hold it here in your child's pose for as long as you want. And that'll do for today.